we will be moving on to the PS5 Pro. I know we've talked about this a lot. We've talked about this shit a ton on this channel if you've been following, and we've predicted a lot of what's going on. But what we're looking at now is some major leaks in the past couple days, and leaks that are so hard that it's just like, hey, holiday season 2024, expect this thing to launch, right? Like,
just remember, in the words of our wise TikTok commenters, it's suicide to launch a console every 2, 3, or 4 years. Meanwhile, they're doing it anyway, just like they did last generation. So shout out to you guys, man. I love your opinions. You're always right. Love you guys. Anyway, I'm sorry. I had to get that out there because
understandable.
What the fuck, bro? Like,
it is absolutely true.
Here it is. Hello.
Here's the PS5 Pro. And it is when did the wait, hold up. PS5 release when? Hold on, let's check.
2020.
2020, right? So 2020 the PS5 release. It is 2024 and these leaks are like these are super leaks.
Bro,
we've had leaks before, but these are super leaks.
We already knew it was coming, whether it was this year or next year. I'm the PS4 Pro and the Xbox, what was it? The Xbox One X did pretty well considering they weren't like quote unquote next gen consoles, but they were like the refresh, right? But apparently Microsoft was talking about some shit. They want the next I don't know if it's gonna be a next gen console or the Xbox refresh, but they said they wanted to make that shit fucking mind-blowingly powerful. So it's like, are these even mid-gen refreshes anymore? Like, or are they just straight up, you know what I mean? This might as well just be like a next gen console from the shit that I'm looking at.
Well, I mean, according to the stats, yeah, it's actually crazy because apparently it's supposed to be what, like 8K, 45% faster.
Yeah, but
let's run down the specs. I think 8K is a dream. I think they're dropping that because they dropped.
I think it's bullshit. I think it's just a marketing thing.
Yeah, they dropped 8K. They dropped 8K on the box of PS4. I mean PS5, right? They dropped it on the PS5, and there's actually one game that actually runs an 8K 60 FPS. I was talking about this with Despair a while ago, but it literally looks like Roblox. Like but so look, it looks great. Hey, it runs well, but that's the only game that runs on 8K on PS5 right now. But with that being said,
the coolest thing is the whatever their branded upscaling shit is. There's the super resolution upscaling, whatever their patented thing is. I'm interested in that because man, these consoles need that shit, bro. Like especially after, I don't know if you've been keeping up with Dragon's Dogma, the console version, but apparently that shit is rough, man. It's an unlocked frame rate.
I heard it's unlocked 30, but it might not even hit 30.
But it barely even hovers above 30. That's crazy. That shit's gonna feel terrible. That's gonna be like Bloodborne. Like
yeah. And people love Bloodborne though.
I love it, but I'm not gonna get the fuck out of here.
Look, if we're gonna talk about FPS, there's a lot of people who still can't see the difference between 30 and 60.
And I cannot absolutely believe you are blind.
I know.
But anyway.
I know. They have to be blind. But with that being said, let's go through these specs. The leaked documents confirm that rendering is 45% faster on the PS5, 2 to 3 times more ray tracing, 4 times in some cases. I don't even know what that means, but
that's wild.
Yeah, that is wild compared to like what GPUs are doing. But with that being said, like it's just like ray tracing is kind of one of those things where like it's great when it runs well, but if it affects performance, I'd rather turn it off. 33.5 teraflops, which is comparable to 4070 right now, I think, which is great. That's a great leap. PSRR, so this is PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution Upscaling, is what you were alluding to, Despair, which is their upscaling anti-aliasing solution. And then they have support for resolutions up to 8K plan. Quote unquote. I'm doing air quotes. That's not really important. That's just buzzword. Custom machine learning architecture. And here's what's interesting. An AI accelerator supporting 300 tops of 8-bit computation, 67 teraflops, and 16 bit floating point. I think that's the super interesting part of it, because this is more so like, this is their future proofing. This is how they're trying to future proof this console into the early generation of the following one.
None of that shit means anything until we see how the actual games perform when this shit drops. But that's still pretty damn crazy for 4 years into the life cycle of the shit, right? This is supposed to be a PS5 Pro, and look,
it's a massive jump.
I've spoke about this shit so many times. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Like, I've said it multiple times. It's coming out this year. Like, here it is. We know it's coming out this year, or maybe early next year. Who knows? I'm pretty sure it'll be this year. But this generation, every generation, I feel needs this, because we can't go 6 years, 7 years, and with consoles anymore. With how
fast,
with how PC, quick, PC technology. Not even just PC, but how some of these games
technology in general.
Some of these games are literally outpacing the machines, and you see that when, oh man, in the beginning, everything had to be 60 FPS, right? Have a performance mode that ran the game at 60 FPS. Now games can barely even do that. Dragon's Dogma just gave up on it entirely. Just here, 30 FPS, that's it. There's no performance mode on console, nothing, right? FF7 Rebirth has a performance mode, but you can tell, like, the resolution is a little bit on the lower side. You can tell it's a little blurry. They said they're gonna fix that, but we clearly need to have newer consoles or updated consoles every few years, bro. There's no way, if they want things to keep up with the current technology, right? Like, I just it happens every time. Like, whenever a new console comes out and they throw out these buzzwords in your ear, like, yeah, we want every game to run at 60 FPS, blah blah blah. That's easy to do in the beginning, but then as the devs get more accustomed to how the system works, right? They start trying to push it, like Unreal 5, all these new engines. They start trying to push the fucking boundaries of the console and what it can do, and then we're back at 30 FPS again. And to everyone saying you can't see the difference, I don't care about y'all. Like, y'all go sit in your little corner or whatever and wait for the conversation to end. But to the people that actually have working eyeballs, that shit sucks, man. Like, I don't want to go from you selling me 60 FPS to buy this $500 or $400 console, and then it can't even do that in 3-4 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, because think about it, right? You have people that still don't have a PS5, and they might get one this year or next year, right? And now they have the option. Now they have the option. Yeah, shut up. Now they have the option to get a PS5 Pro, right? Which is better than the original shit. So they really didn't miss out, right? If I didn't get a PS5 and I see a PS5 Pro drop at the end of this year, shit, I know what I'm getting. You know what I mean? They said it's what, $600? Whatever, worth it for me.
Bro,
like,
it's super
if I can play the games that I'm already playing, better, and then be more, I don't want to say future proof because I hate that term, but at least you know the stuff that's going to come out for the next, until the end of the console generation, you'll be all right? I remember when the PS4 Pro dropped, a lot of people were like, man, that's a waste of money, but I'm like, yeah, okay. The PS4 Pro wasn't that great compared to how, like, the Xbox One X was, right? The Xbox One X was crazy, but it was still better, shit, way better than the original PS4. That base PS4, bro, I went and I played some games back on that shit, and that shit was horrible. I'm sorry, man. If it wasn't how loud that shit got, bro, that game, I don't know how, like, look, whatever. I know a lot of people had the PS4, base PS4, but y'all was struggling, bro. I'm sorry.
Bro, I never upgraded from my base PS4.
I had it.
Yeah, y'all was struggling. I don't know how y'all did that. I couldn't do it. After I played FF, what was it, 15? It was FF15 and FF14. There were hella games that I played, and I would, like, compare, and I was like, oh my god, this is fucking horrible, bro. Like, I remember base PS4 could barely even run FF14, and even in the dungeons, the shit would drop. and then at least even PS4 Pro had, like, you know, some little upgrades or whatever visually, whether it was visually or performance. But yeah, I'll take the upgrade whenever I can get it, bro. I don't even care if it's small. Like, this is crazy to me. These specs seem dope, right? But even if it was less than this, I would still want it because I like having what's better than what I have.
Yeah.
Because I'm a PC guy, right? So I like knowing that, okay, I'm gonna buy this, it's an upgrade, Games are gonna perform better. They're gonna look better. Boom. I don't care if they look better. Personally, I care if they perform better. But that's just me.
Yes.
Like, I don't give a fuck. Because if that was me, I would play games in 30 FPS mode with the 4K visual. I don't give a fuck with none of that. Sorry. Like,
I agree. At this point in time, I'll play all my games. I don't care how far I have to lower the settings on PC or anything. If I can get them running consistently over 60 FPS, that's what I'm doing.
30 FPS makes me sick now. Like I look at it, literally makes me dizzy. Like I can't look at it anymore.
I don't know how people do it. I mean, if that's all you got, that's all you got. Man, more power to you. But like,
look, some people don't know better, and some people don't care, right? Because we were all at that point where before we were like PC heads, right, or whatever, didn't care, just played. Like, bro, we all played. Well, we played Bloodborne, right? I played Bloodborne without a care in the world. I didn't give a fuck. I loved it. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I didn't know better. I had no idea. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then now I can't even touch that game. And that's like one of my favorite games of all time. And I can't even touch that game until they give me an update or something, because that shit is painful. Can't do it.
You know what's interesting too? There's some games that still run super well at 30. But the difference is that these games run consistently, frame timing at 30 locked, right? Like that's a huge difference, right? Because there's some games that don't even hit 30 or have stutter skips. Like, because if you look at like
games that are 30 FPS have like frame time issues, the majority of them do.
But if you're looking at like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, those are games
that doesn't count. When I'm talking about Nintendo stuff, because Nintendo apparently is able to make games that aren't shit.
They got some black magic going on, bro. That's why I'm bringing it up. This is, look, it's some black magic at 30 FPS. It literally is voodoo. And those games, listen,
I'm gonna incriminate myself.
We're not gonna shit on 30 FPS games because like those games are god.
I'm not. You know why?
No.
Because I'm gonna incriminate myself, and one of my favorite things to think about when I think about 30 FPS not being that bad, when it's done right.
Yes, right? When it's done right, that's the qualifier.
Emulate. I have a Simu, right? The Wii U emulator, whatever. Sorry, Nintendo. Anyway, I played Wind Waker, the Wind Waker HD or whatever it's called. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna emulate it. I'm gonna make that shit run at 60 FPS. Okay, you can't run the game at 60 FPS even on the emulator. But when I first booted it up, I didn't even notice. I was like, wait a minute. This isn't 60? This shit feels like it. It's because smooth frame times, locked 30 FPS.
Frame time locked 30 FPS can
the games really like animation wise doesn't really like. There are games that can run well in 30 FPS and look fine because of just like how animations are done, right? Like, what's a good game? Even FF7 when it came out on PS4, that wasn't that.
It wasn't that bad.
Like, this is gonna be trash, and it wasn't that bad. It definitely has some issues though, but it wasn't that bad. Now, obviously, Rebirth comes out. We have the performance mode, and then I look at that compared to the 30 FPS mode. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. But that wasn't that bad either. So when it's done right, man, whatever. But how many times is 30 FPS done right? Like, I'm gonna bring up Dragon's Dogma again. How do you have an unlocked frame rate, but the frame rate doesn't even go above 35 apparently? What's the point of having an unlocked frame rate? Just lock it at 30. What the fuck? That makes zero sense to me.
I think it's because locking it I think they got so much negative heat because it's like locking it at 30. Everyone's like, oh, it's only at 30. Like,
you guys said
only
60.
at 30 anyway.
Yeah.
It's never gonna hit 60 unless you're looking at a wall or some shit.
60, I don't
like,
even
go
think they're
turn your camera to a wall. Oh, look, it's 60, guys.
I don't even think they're releasing the game with a performance mode on PS5, right?
No, there is no performance mode. It's just straight up 30 unlocked.
I think maybe eventually. I think down the line.
PS5 Pro.
No, I think down
at 60 FPS.
I think down the line they're going, because if we haven't gotten into this yet. But I think if you looked at the debug menu that was in the Spider-Man, the hot fix that they did, whatever patch they did, that they accidentally put a debug menu in. If you look at the Digital Foundry video, Insomniac was really doing some heavy black magic there to maintain a 60 FPS on performance mode with ray tracing, where
that's crazy.
When you're in motion and when you're in super fast motion, those resolutions, of course, you don't even fucking notice while you're playing, right? Exactly. It's pulling the wool over your eyes and you don't even notice. They're super low. And I think if Capcom does something like that with Dragon's Dogma, we'll get a performance mode, right? But it's gonna be way later. They're not prioritizing that right now. This is gonna be later.
Gonna run this shit at 60 or something.
Yeah, PS5 Pro is gonna run it at 60. They're gonna have when they release that patch, they're gonna have PS5. They're gonna have a patch for PS5 2 months before PS5 Pro that runs it at 60. You know what I mean? Like, they're gonna do all that, right? Like, it's because optimization's coming.
Ran just as bad.
Exactly. They're not prioritizing it because they're prioritizing a launch. They're gonna prioritize performance and optimization post-launch because they want people to play it. You know?
That's not how you do it.
No, I get it. That shouldn't
be how you do it. Yeah.
That shouldn't be how you do it, but that's
we haven't had that
really
for a while.
What it's been. Yeah.
Every key release on consoles has had a performance mode in it. There's no excuse. Like, I want to know what their reasoning is. There's literally no excuse to not have a performance mode in this game. Straight up. Unless they patch, it comes out on Friday, right?
Day one
unless
patch,
they
maybe?
patch it in.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe.
They could patch it in day one or a month later.
But that doesn't seem like something you would want to hold until day one. You would want people to know that there's a performance mode in the game. Like, you wouldn't just hold that. That's kind of
wouldn't doubt that they're working on it and they would want to release it, but they also don't want to announce that they're going to release it if it's not ready. You know what I mean? They don't seem the type.
It's a shame, but that's exactly why I'm not playing that shit on console.
Hey, I mean, I'm playing that shit on PC. I don't care. Like I said, I don't care how far I have to lower the settings, because if you're looking at high to medium settings on a PC,
man, that shit gonna have FSR 3 and shit.
It don't even look that bad. Yeah, it's gonna have DLSS actually. I think I heard.
Yeah, I'm gonna just use FSR 3.
I think I heard.
I ain't got a 4000 series GP.
I think I heard DLSS is standard now for that one.
Yeah, it has both. It has all the new shit. DLSS 3 and FSR 3. I know what I'm using.
I mean, looking forward to it.
A good question is, follow you buying that PS5 Pro?
PSF?
I mean,
PSF.
I mean, look, if I'm ever going to do it, it would be with that. If I'm ever,
if you don't get it, I don't want to hear nothing about you not having no PS ever again. If Rebirth Part 3 comes out and it's PS exclusive, you don't have one, I don't want to hear shit. Yeah, shut the hell up. Oh, crap. Fun. Now it's time to do it. Like, get a damn PS5 Pro and stop being a bitch.
Man, it's just that. But then, you know what it is? We get the PS5 Pro, and then they're gonna announce the PS6 like in a year or two from now.
Nah, I give it 3 years.
3 to 4.
And then, you know, the other thing about it too, we're getting pretty close to the year of 2025, which for me is the year of a brand new PC. So it's like,
a brand new PC that can't play Rebirth because it's not out yet.
Wow.
Amen.
I mean, well, if you think about it,
I made it through the month. I'll be all right.
If you
Once you make it through the initial release, it doesn't matter after that.
If you put aside the $500 to $600 for the PS5 Pro, as opposed to a PC upgrade, well, if you think about the PC upgrade, you're putting way more. So if you're already saving, you got that money to put in. That's what I'm gonna take the PS. If the PS5 Pro comes out, this might be the first Pro iteration that I get. Because I'm just going to take aside that money that I've been saving for PC upgrades and be like, well, I'll just get that, because by the time the PC upgrades that I want come out, I'll be able to refill that. I'll be able to replenish that money.
Yeah, I just think about all the games that are going to come out on PS that aren't going to be on PC for a year or two. And I don't feel like waiting. I also don't feel like waiting with with a very inferior version of the game. At least I'll have a slightly less inferior version of the game with the PS5 Pro.
True.
You also know what it is for me. It's like I've been distracted by so many games that I feel like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you can wait. It don't matter. Yeah.
It really don't matter to me, right? Like it's like, oh yeah, right now I would be bummed about not playing Final Fantasy, right? But then Dragon Dogma.
Yeah, who cares? Yeah, you got Dragon's Dogma. Stellar come out next month. You got hella shit. Oh wait, you can't play that.
That's so funny.
It's all right. I'm gonna have Dragon's Dogma.
I'm sorry.
Dragon's Dogma is definitely in there. Unicorn Overlord. There's several games that are
Princess
out right
Peach
now.
Showtime about to be
Princess
game of the year,
Peach,
baby.
Yeah. There's so many games that are out that can hold you over.
Yo, play the demo. That shit is dope. I fuck with it.
No. I'm just gonna get the game.
Yeah. That's Friday too. Yeah, that's this Friday.
Yeah. Well, hopefully everyone else can be held over in waiting for the next episode of the podcast, because we will be checking back with you guys next week. But thank you guys for tuning in. Check us out on TikTok. Check us out on Spotify. We mainly post on YouTube and Spotify, but you can also check us out on iTunes. We are available on all major platforms. Be sure to hang out. Leave your comment. We love your comments, actually. No matter how asinine they might be, we love the comments. We love looking at them. I love looking at them and laughing at them when I'm on the toilet, to be honest. And then I shit on you as I post my replies. But no. Aside from that, check us out, guys. Stay tuned. We always got more content coming at you, and we'll check you out next week.